Welcome to this edition of Almeria Update, your monthly guide to what's happening and what's next in beautiful, historic Almeria, Spain. And now, coming to you directly from Casa Vicki in Almeria, is our host, Jay Silber.
Hi everybody, I'm Jay and welcome back to Almeria Update. This is our second show and today we're going to look at the months ahead from February through April of 2025. With me is Casa Vicki's tour director, Mark Briars. Mark, welcome back.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Feliz año.
Pleasure to have you here as always. So let's talk about what happens after what we've just been through, the Christmas holidays.
After the Three Kings Festival back on January 5th and 6th, Almeria remains brightly and beautifully bathed in the many holiday illuminations across the city, surrounding towns and even villages, often into mid-February. The following week, up to 10,000 people gathered at Torres Garcia chapel on the beach, where people brought food and drink and celebrated the Virgin's appearance in the 1500s.
Oh no, wait a minute, you have to explain that to me. What happened exactly?
In the 1500s, just after the city was liberated in 1489.
Liberated from the Moors?
The Moors, yes. The Reis Catholicus took the city in the 26th of December.
I'm going to translate. The Catholic kings took the city.
Yes. Ferdinand and Isabella, basically. And they took the city on Boxing Day, 26th of December 1489, and then started to instigate Christianity to all the people there. And by fortune, they would say, that a statue of the Virgin washed up on the beach at Torres Garcia, and a couple of fishermen found it, and they celebrated it, and they've celebrated it ever since.
So there's a chapel at Torres Garcia.
Correct.
And they, if I understand, there's a procession from right here near Casa Vicki
yes.
at the Plaza de Cathedral.
Yep.
And it goes down to Torres Garcia. How far is that?
It's about 4 or 5 kilometers.
Oh, so it's a nice walk.
Yes.
Along the beach.
Yes.
Oh, that should be fun. Okay, next year I'm gonna go to that one.
If you can get there, it's crowded.
If there are 10,000 people, I bet.
Yes.
I bet there are. So again, so what happens to the Spanish people after all of that?
Well, after all the heady Christmas and January celebrations with such a variety of food and drink, dinner, parties and family, even the Spanish need a rest to go again.
Me too.
So let's look at February. In February, the College of Fine Arts holds an exhibition of their final year's students' work around the 2 floors that open onto their quadrangle. The exhibits are excellent and gives one not only the opportunity to admire young talent, but also to see the place where a scene from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was shot. The Sultan receives the Rolls Royce for his service to the Nazis.
Well, now that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't the Nazis give him a Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah, that's what it should have been, but I imagine it's a film blooper. Or maybe they didn't have a Mercedes-Benz.
Or Rolls paid for product placement.
Yes, yes, still these days.
So go on.
Outside the city, some 10 kilometers to the north is Gador, facing the village of Rioja across the Andarix River and the lush orange groves along its banks. Here they hold El Dia de la Naranja, the Day of the Orange, a day-long festival celebrating the local crop which goes towards Don Simon's Juice Company's production. There is free orange juice and churros made by the local women. There are a multitude of stalls and bands playing throughout the day.
The annual Carnival celebration begins this year on February 28th and continues through Sunday, March 9th.
There will be a carnival market and a variety of events. The burial of the sardine, or the Entierro de la Sardina, gets its ceremonial fiery send-off on the 26th of February.
Oh, now wait a minute. Why are they burning or burying a sardine?
It's a very large sardine. It's a mascot for the carnival, and they trundle it all the way down the Paseo. Everybody follows. There's all these people dressed up in costumes, and they wheel it out to below Cabo de Angles, and then everybody got the fire brigade there and everything, and they stick the fires in there and it burns.
Okay, let me explain a couple of things. The Paseo is the Paseo de Almeria, which is sort of the main shopping drag in the city of Almeria.
Correct.
And the Cabo de Angles is a sort of railroad spur from the main train station to the edge of the sea, where iron ore, right,
yes,
used to go from the interior of the country
Yeah.
to ships waiting at
And then they used to go to South Wales to melt them down and turn it into iron.
the plundering of resources.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes, the Belgians, the Germans, and the English were all involved in that.
Okay. Anyway, let's go on. So what happens?
So Friday the 28th is Andalusia Day. Now let's look at March. Last year there was a very fine cheese market in Plaza Vicki, the Constitution Plaza right near Casa Vicki.
Now, I had a really interesting experience at Semana Santa last year. I was walking up to a restaurant with my son who was visiting from the United States. And as we were walking up towards Plaza Vieja, in fact, we suddenly were confronted by what appeared to us to be about 200 members of the Ku Klux Klan in white robes with pointy hats. What was that all about?
Well, they're the Nazarenos. They are the people that practice and then carry the dioceses with all of the deities on them.
So they're going to confess, is that it?
They are part of the brotherhood, and there are also women Nazarenos nowadays, and they are involved in carrying the procession through to the church.
It wasn't just white robes, there were robes of many colors.
Oh, absolutely.
What did that represent?
Different brotherhoods. So you have purple robes, you have white robes, you have black robes, brown robes. There's a whole selection. Last year, the notice boards on the Paseo carried all the information you needed with all the different Nazarenos.
Yeah, so the brotherhoods were individual parishes?
They're just individual groups of very religious people.
Very interesting.
It's different barrios.
So, tell me more about Semana Santa.
Semana Santa is much later this year, Palm Sunday being the 13th of April. The processions begin on April the 14th, Monday, with the Passion at 6 p.m. and end with the Resurrection procession to the cathedral starting at 10 a.m. Many places, shops, cafes, banks and supermarkets offer the booklet produced for Holy Week, which gives the times and the routes. At the end of April, further afield, but no less interesting, is the Feria or outdoor celebration of San Marcos, which will be held in Adra and El Ejido, not terribly far from Casa Vicki, with music, food and fireworks that accompany such events here in Spain.
Oh, well, that's quite a bit that's going on. It should be exciting.
Never a dull moment here.
No, I've always enjoyed the Feria.
Feria.
My Spanish pronunciation is
Yeah,
terrible.
the summer feria here is amazing.
The one in August.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
again, up and down the Paseo de Almeria, they block off the traffic and they put up all kinds of shops and stores and there's dancing in the street.
Oh yes, we were dancing last year.
Yeah, a really incredible place. Hey, I hope to see you all here at Casa Vicki. Mark, thank you once again for joining me for Almeria.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Jay.
And we'll do it again in a few months. Everybody take care. Have a great winter and spring. And we hope to see you in Almeria.
Cheerio. Bye.